like dynamite. You, whoa, couldn't last for a day in the life. You, whoa. If I came, then it's time to fight. If you try and lose, then I'ma prove you right. I got a tools to break fools like Tyson did. Open up the arena, can't see me coming just like I am Cena. What? They couldn't believe it, crazy for the game, but I am not Cena. Yeah. I'm spreading the seas like I'm Moses. Yeah. Watch how you give me my roses. I know that their love is bogus. Give me a trophy, just like a Trojan. I'm on. Giving my all. My heart froze. But I'm on. I'm here till I'm gone. God knows. I'm the one. I'm on. Never not on the go. I can't slow. God knows. Growing pains from being chosen, and I show full doses, breaking in out of my bones. I'm on till I'm gone. Hate me or love me, I don't care. I'm on. I'm on.
Time to wrap up a series as the Indianapolis Indians look for a series win over the AAA affiliate of the Chicago Cubs, the Iowa Cubs. Happy Sunday, everybody. We'll get to the lineups here in a moment, but first, our umpiring crew for this afternoon's game. Kelvis Velez has the plate. He is calling balls and strikes with the ABS challenge system in play. The crew chief, Edwin Jimenez, is at first base, and Jonathan Biarretta is at third base. Now the lineup for the Iowa Cubs, who enter at 70 and 52. Pete Crow Armstrong leads off and plays center field. P.J. Higgins is the two-hitting catcher. Matt Mervis bats third and plays first base. Alexander Canario is the cleanup man and the right fielder. Jared Young hits fifth and DHs. Jake Slaughter is the sixth-hitting third baseman. Batting seventh and playing left, Darius Hill. Luis Vasquez is the eighth-inning second baseman. And batting ninth and playing shortstop is David Bodie. On the hill for the I-Cubs, the right-hander Shane Green. Now the lineup for the Indians, who enter at 58 and 65. Nick Gonzalez leads off and plays shortstop today. Kanan Smith-Njigba is the two-hitting right fielder. Miguel Andujar bats third in DHs. Malcolm Nunez is the cleanup man and the first baseman. Jared Triolo hits fifth and plays second. Domingo Leyba is the sixth-hitting third baseman. Ryan Valade bats seventh and plays left. Chris Owings is the eighth-inning center fielder. And Grant Cook batting ninth and doing the catching for Jared Jones. More on him in a moment, but he's ready for first pitch and set to call the action. The voice of the Indians, Howard Kilman.
Thank you, Jack, and wherever you are on this Sunday afternoon, we thank you for joining us, and we certainly hope you enjoy Indianapolis Indians baseball. Pete Crow Armstrong to lead it off. He broke out of his slump with 2 hits last night. Jones looks in. The windup and the first pitch of the game. Swing and a miss at a fastball, strike one. We're underway from Victory Field in the capital city. 76 degrees, sunshine, a beautiful day. Wind blowing in a bit. And a fastball fouled back on the screen.
Jared Jones, the 22-year-old from Whittier, California. Second-round pick of the Pirates back in 2020 out of high school. This is his 12th appearance, his 11th start with the Indians this year. He's 2-3 with a 5.91 ERA in 53 1/3 innings.
And the 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike three, pitch in the dirt. Cook flips it down to Nunez. And a 3-pitch strikeout, 2-3 on the putout. And we just saw a matchup with Jones and Crow Armstrong, two talented young prospects.
Really good prospects, both consensus top 100 prospects. Crow Armstrong consensus top 20, and Jared Jones a real breakout this year after posting an ERA of 2.23 in 10 starts with AA Altoona.
P.J. Higgins the batter, and a fastball, swing and a miss, strike one, 0-1.
Fastball from Jones, we just saw it 97 miles an hour. He was 94-95 on Tuesday in the series opener, but when he's right, velo is in the high 90s.
And a breaking ball a little bit outside, ball one. His body language looks better so far in the early going today.
Yeah, he did struggle on Tuesday. 5 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned. He was handed the loss. He walked 3.
Higgins hitting .317, takes a breaking ball in for a strike. Jared Jones has 4 quality pitches: fastball, curve, slider, and change. And the 1-2 delivery with the defense straight up. Fastball rides high. Higgins 10 homers, 61 RBIs. Right-hand batting catcher. 2-2 delivery. Fastball swing and a miss. He challenged him and he struck him out. And there are 2 away. Matt Mervis, the batter, hitting .287, 18 homers, 64 RBIs, 25 years old on the 40-man roster, an OPS of .954. Left-hand batter, open stance. Fastball just outside, ball 1. Malcolm Nunez playing first. Jared Triolo at second. Nick Gonzalez, the shortstop. Domingo Leyba at third base. And the 1-0 delivery. Swung on, wrapped on the ground, through the hole. Base hit right field. Between Nunez and Triolo. Hard hit. The right fielder, Cannon Smith-Njigba, flips it back in. The center fielder, Chris Owings. The left fielder, Ryan Valade. Grant Cook catching, and as Jack told you, Jared Jones doing the pitching. And the batter, Alexander Canario. Hitting .293, 8 homers and 35 RBIs. He singled and doubled last night. His 12-game hitting streak came to an end Friday. And he swings and misses at an outside slider, strike 1. Mervis leads away. The right-hander sets and delivers. And a fastball poured in there, strike 2, 0-2. Jones to the belt, and he pitches. Breaking ball outside and in the dirt, backhanded neatly by Grant Cook. We're in the top of the first, 2 men out and a runner aboard. The Indians straight up defensively. Nunez holding Mervis aboard. Jones to the belt and to the plate. And a curveball, and he got him. Strike 3 called. In at the knees. Side retired. He strikes out the side. At the end of a half inning, it is Iowa nothing. The Indians coming to bat.
Bottom of the first inning, time for Shane Green, 34-year-old right-hander from Claremont, Florida. 9 big league seasons under his belt. He's got an ERA at 4.5 and 470 major league innings. This is his 5th start with Iowa. He's allowed 4 earned in 12 2/3. He went 5 shutout on Tuesday. And Howard, you've got a special guest in the bottom of the first.
That we do. Nick Gonzalez will lead off. And Shane Green's fastball is a little bit low, ball 1. Green is not overpowering. He threw harder years ago. We saw him in the Yankees system at Scranton. Nick Gonzalez hitting .265, 8 homers, 33 RBIs. Fastball is popped up foul, straight back and out of play. Great to have Kevin Young, who's been a good friend for many years. Kevin, great to have you here in Indianapolis.
Thank you, Howard. It's good to be here. It's always nice to be here in the Midwest. Looking at Indianapolis fans, it's a beautiful day for a ball game.
Oh, terrific. The invigorating weather, 76 degrees. Here's a swing and a miss at an outside pitch, strike 2. You do a lot of different things for the Pirates. First, tell us they changed your title a few years ago. Tell us about that.
Yeah, now I add on as a special assistant to player development, and then obviously also do some color.
Breaking ball, he didn't raise his right hand. And they're challenging it. It was called a ball. P.J. Higgins threw it down to third base. I think that caught the inside corner. It did. It's strike 3 called. So they overrule it, and the I-Cubs win the challenge, and Gonzalez looks at strike 3. Kevin?
Yeah, that ABS challenge has been quite the quite the entertainment for this season for sure. But yeah, with the Pirates, they do some color and some radio as well for the team in Pittsburgh. So travel a lot on the West Coast. And so right now I have St. Louis coming up, Kansas City, St. Louis trip. So I'll be heading down to Kansas City here later today.
Cannon Smith-Njigba push punts on the ground, third base side of the mound, barehand pickup, throw, a wild throw, but it's backed up. And that'll be a base hit for Smith and Jigba. That's a terrific play, Kevin.
Yeah, it really is. The bunt is definitely has run its course. A lot of times guys forget to utilize that. It really is good to see Kanan Smith and Jigba again being able to pick up part of the game and get an early base runner.
One of the things you do when you do that, you lay down a bunt, a pitcher can have his rhythm disrupted.
It really can. It actually helps you as a hitter as well, just because of the hand-eye coordination. And sometimes that'll get you out of a slump.
Miguel Andujar, the batter, he swings and fouls it back. Miggy's been phenomenal this season.
He really has. We were talking about him before the game and just this entire series. And every day he's the same individual. I mean, you walk into the clubhouse, he has a smile on his face. He enjoys playing the game of baseball. And you're talking about being where your feet are, and he epitomizes exactly that. Just continues to compete on a daily basis.
28 years old, having a great year, batting .344. And the pitch is in for a strike. He's had hitting streaks of 20 games, 15 games in 10 games, so I call him DiMaggio.
There's no doubt about it. And this is his 56th straight start. Can you believe that? 56 straight starts.
The right-hander sets, one on, one out. The 0-2 is a ground ball to the shortstop's left. It's gloved there by Bodie to Vasquez on to first, and a neatly turned inning-ending double play. Bodie, Vasquez, and Mervis, 6-4-3. At the end of one, Iowa nothing, the Indians nothing. And we move to the top half of the second inning. Jared Young will lead off, hitting .299, 13 homers, and 52 runs batted in. He is the designated hitter, left-hand batter. Kevin Young is our guest. We'll get back to him after Jared Jones' first pitch. It is a fastball over the outside corner, belt high for a strike. Now, Kevin, today you're not in uniform, obviously. You're up here with us, but you are in uniform working with players before games. And here's a pitch waved at and missed. Tell us about the work you do with the players.
Yes, a lot of it, Howard, has just been, at this point, just helping guys that transition part, the mentorship, if you will, to what it takes to be a professional ball player at the major league level as you come through being sent down.
And a fastball, swing and a miss, and he struck him out. And so far, Jared Jones is overmatching the Iowa Cubs.
Yeah, he really is. But, you know, that mentorship role as guys transition, either coming down from the big leagues or before they get called up. So had a couple discussions with some guys like Gonzalez and Triolo after coming down from Pittsburgh. And it's been quite, enlightening for sure.
Jake Slaughter swings and misses, strike one, 0-1. Slaughter hitting .246. He does have 21 homers and 74 runs batted in. The right-hander, Jared Jones, pitches. And a breaking ball is in there, strike two, 0-2. Give us your thoughts on Jared Jones.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see, just the attack. He continues to attack the zone, small in stature, but super powerful.
And here's a swing and a foul back off the fastball.
Yeah, and he continues to do just that. He fills up the zone a lot of times with all pitches, and that's what you really want to see. You have a plus fastball, but he also spins it well. Those secondary pitches, he continues to attack the zone, and as you see with a base runner earlier, he controls the running game as well.
0-2 pitch, fastball fouled back, 97 miles an hour. He has a fastball, curve, slider, and change.
Yeah, and when you can land all your secondary pitches for strikes, again, that's a definite plus to allowing you to be able to pitch at the major league level. So it's been fun to really watch him, come through the system and continue to do just that.
0-2 pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. He struck out 5 of the first 6 batters he's faced.
A lot of times, Howard, you look at certain guys, we've done it. You've been doing this for a long time, and you pull comps, guys that he reminds you of. And so one of the guys that obviously the type of energy that he brings is a Stroman. You think about Stroman being that small guy, but pitches with energy.
Darius Hill swings and he pops it up near the mound, and Jones gets out of the way. On the mound, the third baseman Leyba has it, and a quick 1-2-3 inning. And at the end of an inning and a half, Iowa nothing, Indians nothing. And we go to the bottom half of the second inning. The game scoreless. Kevin Young, our guest. You were talking about conversations you've had with players like Nick Gonzalez and Jared Triolo. And what are some of those conversations like with guys who've been in the major leagues and then come back, and there obviously is some disappointment about coming back?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing is you can never really share with a guy what the experience is of being a major leaguer until they actually have spent time in a major league uniform on a major league field and competed. And so talking to these guys as they come back down, what was your biggest takeaway? Do you understand why the game is played at the speed it's played and why attention to detail means so much?
Malcolm Nunez takes a little outside, ball one.
And so that's kind of continuation of their process of growing, how they can sustain themselves as really good major league players. But first you have to understand, you know, what the game speed is like.
The 1-0 is a little bit low, ball 2-2-0. I know I was talking to Trill today in the clubhouse, and he's a terrific prospect, fine young man. And he's playing other positions because Ke'Bryan Hayes is the third baseman of the present and the future. The pitch hits him. He's okay near the left hip, and Nunez will go to first.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, you know, how do you get the most out of that player? Obviously, Ke'Bryan Hayes is a mainstay there in Pittsburgh, and Triolo is a good enough athlete. He can play all over the place. He's got some time at second base in the big leagues. Obviously, yesterday here, he was able to play first base, turned a nice double play, and he can play over his short as well. So create those opportunities, and wouldn't be surprised if he even ends up in the outfield from time to time just because.
And Jared Triolo swings and misses an outside pitch, strike one, 0-1.
Yeah, so his continual growth is figuring out, okay, each at bat, learn something about myself. Each pitch, he never takes pitches off. He runs the bases well, and this is the development.
And a fastball low and away, ball one.
So these guys, the same thing with Nick Gonzalez. The game showed him something at the higher level as well. So as he transitions into the daily work, how do I become a better second baseman, or if I'm at short?
And a breaking ball is in for strike two. Nick Gonzalez earlier in the year here made the adjustment because they were getting him out with sliders down and away, and he started to hit the ball the other way more.
Yeah, and that's going to be one of the keys. He was super successful doing that.
Breaking ball, swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Yeah, so Nick Gonzalez, as he got drafted into the Pirates organization, that was one of the things he was touted for, his ability to hit the ball the other way and drive it with authority. And so at some point you may get away from that in your pro game a little bit, but then you recognize it's so valuable the higher levels you get, why it's so important to use the entire field. And so now I think he's coming back to some of his strengths.
If you hit the ball where it's pitched, you make yourself a dangerous hitter. Domingo Labor lines one, but right at the right fielder, and it's knocked down by Canario, and he throws to second, not in time. I don't know if he's hurt. Now he gets up.
Just his feelings, Howard.
Yeah, because he came in on that line drive. It was right at him, and it almost sailed over his head. He went up to make a leaping grab, and the ball went off his glove.
Yeah, and then had an awkward throw into second base where his front foot slipped and kind of hyperextended that left leg. And I think he's more irritated that he misplayed the ball than anything.
Well, they ruled that an error, but when you misplay a ball and misjudge it, they don't charge an error normally.
Yeah, that one, I think, because it hit the glove, they definitely gave it the error. It was a definitely hard hit.
Ryan Valet takes inside a ball. It hit his glove when he went leaping high in the air. I would have ruled that a base hit.
Yeah, I know Labor would probably wish he would have too.
Yeah. You know, it's one thing to drop a ball, but it says specifically a ball is misjudged, which is what happened. That's not an error. Breaking ball in for a strike. Where do you go from here?
Well, again, I go to Kansas City to catch a 3-game series, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The day off in Thursday, then the Pittsburgh travels to St. Louis, and I'll finish up the weekend there.
The 1-1 pitch is a fastball inside, ball two. What are your thoughts? You played in the big leagues a long time. What are your thoughts when you look back to your playing career?
Just how quick it can go. And again, the amount of friendships and competition every single day, and how much you value that every day. Sometimes you take it for granted.
Breaking ball inside.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where these guys, and this is what I get to share with a lot of these players at this level here in AAA or even at the big leagues, is that, you know, never miss a pitch, never take a pitch for granted, never take a day in the big leagues for granted.
The 3-1 fastball fouled back on the screen. When you got to the big leagues with the Pirates, they were good.
Yeah, really were. 1992, we're just coming off our second Eastern Division title, and then won our third in '92, and so just one out away from going to the World Series. And You know, like I said, it was, you know, having teammates like Barry Bonds and Andy Van Slyke and Jay Bell. It was a pretty nice time.
3-2 pitch, pop foul to the right side, out of play. And it holds at 3-2.
You know, Howard, the other day I was down in the dugout and I saw something on the screen, and I could have swore I saw like a picture of Razor Shines on the screen from something earlier this year, and it brought back some really good memories.
Yeah, he was here. You're exactly right. He was here, and you had some great battles. You were in Buffalo. Razor was here. And a fastball swing and a miss. He struck him out. He challenged Ryan Valade and came right at him and got him 2 away. And those 2 years there, 91 and 92, Buffalo beat out the Indians for the East Division title.
Man, there were some good games played. I to this day, I can still remember just the competition level. Just 2 really good teams, and just enjoy playing over at the old Busch Stadium.
Yep. Chris Owings, the batter. He takes a slider outside, ball 1.
Yeah, so I mean, those are the type of things you can't, they don't leave you. I mean, they stick with you forever, and that's why this is such a beautiful game. You play it every day and have opportunities every day to do something that you'll never forget.
And the 1-0 delivery, breaking ball high. Well said, Kevin. I know one thing you told me is you try to talk to the guys about enjoying the journey, but it's challenging because it's a tough game to play.
It really is, and I know it's so easy to ride your emotions on your success, and that's not the key.
Pitches outside, it's 3-0.
You know, I always tell the key word I always use is sustainability. I mean, that's what you really are looking for throughout the course, so you can't have your emotions going up and down consistently, because the game will do that enough to you. And at the end of the day, a manager, Jim Leland used to tell me, he said, a manager wants to know if he can trust you. So that always resonates.
The 3-0 is a strike. I thought he might have a green light there. 3-1, 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the second. The game is scoreless. That's really well said by Jim Leland, who I feel should be in the Hall of Fame. Great manager.
I don't disagree. I think next week I might even play golf with him, spend some time with him.
There's a pitch outside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Owings walks. An MHS walk for health. And the batter will be Grant Cook with the bases loaded. Hitting .254, 4 homers and 17 RBIs. Bases loaded, 2 outs, scoreless game. Iowa Indians, bottom of the second, and a slider is in for a strike, 0-1. The Iowa defense is straight away on the right-hand batting catcher. You know, I mentioned Jim Leland, and I can't understand why he's not in the Hall of Fame with all the success he had, how well respected he was. Here's a line drive, base hit, off the hit, right center field. 2 runs will score, and runners are at first and third. Nunez scores, Labus scores, Owings to third. It's 2-0 Indians. He lined it softly off the end of the bat.
Yeah, that's a beautiful job of hitting right there. Anytime you have a catcher, again, as a C2, being able to just be consistent, keep your swing short, and pick up a big 2-out RBI, that's a big boost for this Indianapolis Indians ball club.
There's Nick Gonzalez. What was your greatest throw as a player?
It's so many. Obviously, I think, you always remember your first hit, your first home run. So those would probably be the easy ones.
Gonzalez fouls it back just above us, strike 1. Who's your first big league hit off?
Tim Belcher in Cincinnati.
Good pitcher.
Yeah, and the first home run was the bottom of the 8th, ended up being a 3-run homer against Rod Beck from the Giants.
Yeah, he was a closer. Pitched for the Cubs too, I believe.
Yep.
And a breaking ball, a little bit inside, ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. Was there anybody who really helped you when you were a young player?
Yeah, I think so. It was a number of guys. You remember guys that Mitchell Page, I can remember him very well.
Fastball is inside.
Bob Boone, former manager of the Kansas City Royals, and obviously a great player for the Angels and the Phillies. But and then you have a ton of guys like Dave Clark who helped mentor me as a player.
2-1 pitch is over the inside corner.
Yeah, and then so it continues. It's always a list of guys that you can put a handful of guys that help you in your professional career, but you can pull knowledge from a lot of different sources when you're in your journey, as you said earlier, Howard.
2-2 pitch is bounced foul to the left of the plate. That was a breaking ball, and it holds 2-2. It's so great that there are people like those guys who help younger players.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, that's the beauty of what we do. When you're fortunate enough to be blessed to play at the major league level, the one thing you always look for is to give back that opportunity for somebody else. Help somebody else experience that same joy and the blessing that you have.
The 2-2 pitch is hit high in the air to right center field, deep but playable. It's the center fielder, Pete Crow Armstrong, who nonchalantly one-hands it on the warning track, and the inning is over. Kevin, great spending time with you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Howard. Thank you, and go Indians.
We're going to make room. Jack McMullen has a special guest as we go to the third at the end of 2. Indians 2, Iowa nothing.
We go to the top of the third inning. Indians got 2 last half innings, so they're in front 2-0 in the series finale. Jared Jones has been awesome. Has 5 strikeouts through 2 innings in his first pitch. The 8-hitter Luis Vasquez misses inside. Pleasure to be joined by Michael Hirschman, the director of the Indianapolis VA Medical Center. Mike, thank you so much for coming out to the ballpark. Yeah. We got a swing and a miss from Jared Jones, 1-1. Let's start with the PACT Act here. What is the PACT Act and what's available to veterans under toxic exposure with that?
Right, PACT Act passed, August 22nd last year. Greatest expansion of benefits for veterans in a generation. It's the promise to address comprehensive toxins. It added 23 conditions not formally available to veterans, basically. So, throughout the year, we've been holding a screening clinic a month, a toxic exposure screening clinic. Just had one last week on Fort Ben Harrison. Wow. About one a month. Go va.gov and look for Rotabush for the next upcoming event. Every veteran who was overseas needs to come in and get screened for toxic exposure. You may or may not feel you need to come in today, but sometime in the future you may want to assess the benefits of the VA. I say Bosnia, Kosovo, Iraq, Afghanistan, those are a few of the places. If you served over there, you absolutely must come in and be screened.
How about that? We got a leadoff walk from Jared Jones to Luis Vasquez. Now, how often are you guys doing these screenings? I'm sure you're doing them.
Yes, sir, once a month, but any veteran enrolled to the VA can ask to be screened during an appointment.
Gotcha.
This year, thus far this year, we've screened over 40,000 veterans in our region, excuse me.
That one's popped up right side and foul out of play.
And about 40% of the veterans are screening positive for toxic exposure. And then we subsequently refer them into our system for further evaluation.
Got it.
We've also, and also you can walk in at any time you like in any of our primary care clinics. It is our understanding 2,500 veterans that have been at our clinics have filed claims for additional compensation with Veterans Benefit Administration also. So at our events, you can sit down, you can be screened, a veteran service officer will help you fill out a claim, and Veterans Benefit will accept your claim right on the spot.
How about that?
One-stop shopping for veterans.
One-stop shopping for vets. I love that. Jared Jones is 1-1, misses upstairs to Bodie with a man at first and nobody out. You guys do have a main hospital in downtown Indianapolis.
West 10th Street. Yes, sir. West 10th Street is the main facility, and then we have 8 clinics around the city. I'll name a few.
Yeah.
Terre Haute, Brownsburg, Lafayette, YMCA downtown, Bloomington, Shelbyville, Wakeman. And our last gem will be built in about 2 years. We're waiting for bids to come in. We're calling it the Northeast Clinic, and that will basically ring the city in VA clinics.
How about that? So you guys are at the downtown YMCA. Is that the Ursay family YMCA?
It sure is, yes, sir.
That's where I work out.
All
Good
right,
to note.
Yes, sir. We have a team down. It's a whole health team basically focusing on health and wellness for veterans.
Love it. Love to hear that. David Bodie, count on him is full after Jones walked the leadoff guy. I mentioned he was awesome through the front 2 innings. Struck out 5, allowed a single to the 3-hitter Matt Mervis. And that's about that for Jones, who has had a resurgent start so far. Payoff pitch to Bodie on the way. And that misses low, ball 4, but they're going to challenge. Okay, this is new to ball. We've got the ABS challenge system right now. Let's see if that's ball 4 or strike 3. It was a breaking ball. That's just missed low. So Bodie aboard, back-to-back walks. We're talking with Michael Hirschman, the director of the Indianapolis VA Medical Center. With so many more veterans applying for the PACT Act, are you guys hiring?
Yes, sir. Our initiative this year is Hire Right, Hire Fast. This year, we've brought 1,200 new faces to the VA. Our staff has grown by about 6% in order to provide the care, the expanded benefits for our veterans that are coming in under PACT Act and also Compact Act, which I hope we have a moment to talk about.
We absolutely do. We've got a moment to talk about it right now. Tell us about it.
Compact Act, the law is a few years old, but it extends mental health benefits to all veterans that served 24 months or greater and might not have qualified for VA care otherwise. 30 days of acute care and up to 90 days of continuing care.
Pete Crow Armstrong shows bunt and he pulls it back and takes ball
for
one.
veterans that left the military other than honorable or greater as their discharge.
Gotcha.
But I'm telling you, folks, suicide prevention remains our #1 clinical priority. Do not hesitate to drive someone to the emergency room when in crisis. The Compact Act benefit will take care of those veterans.
1-0, Pro Armstrong showing bunt again, and he pops it back in the net and foul. Mental health, so important in every walk of life, but you see it is exponentially risen in active duty military and former military as well, and I'm sure that you guys are constantly seeing that. And thankfully, the vision around mental health, the stigma's gone, which is fantastic, but the visibility of mental health as the bunt does get down, only plays to first, 5-4 on the putout, covering Triolo, got it. So Crow Armstrong out, but a successful sacrifice. But the visibility around mental health awareness has never been better, and I'm sure that's a great thing for veterans.
It absolutely is, and I will tell you, we do it unlike no other healthcare system in the country. We have mental health specialists embedded in our primary care clinics. I mentioned those 8 primary care clinics. Yeah. If a veteran comes in acute crisis, they will walk him down the hall. There's no need to make an appointment. Yeah. You're walk down the hall to a mental health specialist. We have the most comprehensive coordinated care in the region, and I'm telling you, veterans, do not hesitate and come in. If not for yourself, but for your family members, please come in and get screened for toxic exposure.
Yep.
You may not need us now, but 20 years from now, when you're not feeling well, at least you'll have it on the books and in the system that you were overseas and you were screened.
Yep. P.J. Higgins took upstairs for ball one from Jared Jones. Indians ahead 2-0, but you got 2 men in scoring position and 1 away. 1-0 pitch is a called strike 2. Higgins struck out his first time, and we understand that veterans can get immediate care when in crisis. What is the VA doing to help get them that care?
Hiring. Hire. Like I said, sir, we are continuing to hire. In fact, anybody here today, go on our site. We have another job fair in October, va.gov. We held 2 in July, 1 in August, particularly focused right now on mental health specialists, registered nurses, nursing assistants, health technicians, licensed practical nurses. Come on in. We are hiring you if you come in and see us in the next couple months.
We love to hear that. 1-2 pitch misses high and tight. We're talking about Michael Hirschman, the director of the Indianapolis VA Medical Center. You ever get out to this ballpark?
Sir, this is my second time.
Second time. I love that. Were you here what, earlier this year or previous years?
I stayed downtown last summer when I was in transition.
Gotcha.
Mainly around the War Memorial area, and I'd come over occasionally.
I love that. It's a great place.
I love this hometown ballpark. It's such a family park.
It's amazing.
I really love it.
It's amazing. Yeah. What else do you have to share on the VA at this point, and all the initiatives that you guys have going on?
One last time. Come work for me. It's going to be the best job you ever had, the last job you ever had. We come to work for one reason, folks, and that's to take care of our veterans. I'm a veteran. I get my care at VA. Bring your veterans in, get them screened. May not need us now, but they may need us down the road. Thank all my veterans for their service, and thanks to the caregivers that take care of our veterans each and every day. And one more note, usajobs.gov. That's the place to go to search for VA federal jobs. Thank you all.
We love that. Michael Hirschman, thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the ball game. Jared Jones, he gets a cut and a miss from Matt Mervis. There are 2 away, men at second and third. Mervis singled his first time. The 0-1, Mervis rolls foul right side. So Higgins struck out swinging on the full count. So 0-2 the count to Matt Mervis. Indians ahead 2-0 in the top of the third inning. And the 0-2 from Jared Jones. Misses outside. Indians out in front thanks to that 2-run looped single out to right center from Grant Cook. Thought Kevin Young made a great point. The second string catcher pretty much the entirety of the year in Indianapolis. The 1-2 that's popped up right side, foul ground drifting out of play into the seating bowl. You know, the second string catcher, they'll play, twice a week, maybe 3 days a week if there's nobody that really has priority to catch 4 or 5 days that week. But Cook, he's making the most of his opportunities right now, and that was a situational masterpiece of the base hit. Men at second and third. Infield shaded around to pull. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. That's a called strike on the inside corner. 98 dotted. And Jones has his 7th punch out through 3. We're through 2.5. It's the Indians 2, Iowa nothing. Bottom of the 3rd inning on a sun-soaked Sunday afternoon. Indians have a 2-0 lead over the Iowa Cubs in the series finale. Great traffic in the seating bowl. How about the foot traffic in the center field plaza waiting to meet the characters from Paw Patrol? Massive line to go see those characters, and the lawn looks amazing tonight. Shane Green starts with Kanan Smith-Njigba, who bounces one foul, maybe off his front foot. He's going to hop around for a minute, but that is strike 1. Again, Indians ahead 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. And Green ran into a bunch of trouble. He started with a hit by pitch of Malcolm Nunez to open the inning. But Kanan picks the bat back up, and he's good to go. Kanan bunted himself aboard first time up. Great bunt to the third base side of the mound. Shane Green, the right-hander. His 0-1 pitch. This is low and away. Got a spot in the scorebook to write down the weather conditions. And typically I do, temperature, coverage, cloud coverage, wind. 1-1. That is a check swing and a pitch low, and Kanan didn't go around. So humidity, things like that. Today, 76 degrees and then perfect in all caps. Feels good after a hot week at the ballpark. 2-1 to Kanan. This is up and out. 3-1. Miguel Andujar waits on deck. There's Green's 3-1 pitch. It's bounced foul again. That clip his front foot again. Kanan's taken a beating this plate appearance. He'll stretch, he'll shake it out, and he'll ready for a payoff. Green set, working from the stretch with nobody on. And the right-hander's 3-2. Misses outside, ball 4. Leadoff walk opens the bottom of the 3rd. Another MHS walk for health. And today's total up to $20. Gleaners receiving $10 from MHS for every walk an Indians player draws this season. Miguel Andujar bounced into a 6-4-3 double play his first time. Flips at 343 right now. Green steps off. Really, Green wasn't attentive to Andujar. Good to go now. Reset of the pitch clock. And Green comes set. Shorter lead for Smith-Njigba, but he shuffles as the first pitch misses inside, ball 1. Like Kanan was set to take off if he timed up the shuffle appropriately. Green's 1-0. Has to wait. Throw over to first, and Kanan back in standing up. Pace is calm. This game is taking a Sunday stroll in the early goings. 1-0. Breaking ball spun in, a called strike. There's some footsteps in the I-Cubs bullpen. Shane Green, not a guy that's going to go particularly long. 1-1 lifted high in the sky, foul, but maybe playable towards the bullpen. Third baseman Slaughter tries to make the catch off the netting, but that is foul anyways. Just a high arcing strike 2 for Miguel Andujar. Indians wrap up this series with Iowa this afternoon. And they hit the road to Buffalo for 6 with the AAA affiliate of the Blue Jays, the Buffalo Bison. One, 2 from Green. This is low and away. Green set. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Would have been a sinker that tied up Miggy, and he goes down swinging. 4th strikeout for Shane Green. With one away, it's Malcolm Nunez against Green. He's hit by a pitch last inning. Buffalo's got a pretty intriguing roster. A couple of guys that were Indianapolis Indians last year, the catching tandem for the Bison. It's the first pitch in there for a called strike. Jamie Ritchie, an Indianapolis Indian last year, and Tyler Heineman, who was an Indianapolis Indian for a little bit this year before being traded for Vinny Capra in a 1-for-1 swap deal. 0-1 pitch. Nunez out in front of a breaking ball. Cuts and misses, 0-2. Got some intriguing hitters. Addison Barger, a great prospect. There's a Relvis Martinez, 21-year-old. Play some shortstop, play some third base for him. 0-2. Swinging a fly ball out to right, tailing foul, but maybe dropping into no man's land, and it does. In between the bullpen mound and plate on the right side. Mervis gave it a go. So did the second baseman Vasquez, and Canario is the last one to it. And Barger got a Relvis Martinez. Cameron Eden, solid outfield prospect, but eyes go to number 53 on the Buffalo roster. Right-hander Alek Manoah will likely make a start against the Indianapolis Indians next week in Buffalo. 0-2. Swinging a liner right side. That's in for a base hit. Kanan chugs to second base, and Nunez aboard with a one-out single. So he's now reached base twice. Third hit for the Indians today. Jeff shooting it the other way. So Nunez at first, Smith and Jigba at second, and it's Jared Triolo who struck out swinging his first time against Shane Green. First pitch now to Jared. Swing and a miss out in front of a slow breaking ball at 76. So there is chalk signaling where the coaching boxes are on the third base side and the first base side, but those are, I don't know. 0-1 is a swing and a miss. I guess just a loose idea, nothing concrete about, hey, you need to stand here. Those are a recommendation. You've got Brady Conlon standing far behind the first base coaching box. Triolo lines one right side. Canario got a good beat on it. He makes the catch as Smith and Jigba was halfway, so he heads back 2 away.
Yeah, this is really where Ruben Gotay is standing is way, as you said.
But you've got Brady Conlon deep on the first base side, and then you've got Ruben Gotay, who's pretty much on the subs in Penn Station East Coast subs, which is probably 45 feet away from home plate.
Now, it's the most challenging time for a third base coach when there are 2 men on base. However, I mean, he's in a position where he can get hurt seriously.
Domingo Leyba takes a called strike on the outer edge.
So close to the batter, so off up the line that he could get seriously hurt.
Ruben's got eyes on Kanan Smith and Jigba and on Nunez. Switch hitter Leba batting left-handed, and the pitch misses outside, ball one. Domingo Leba, the former San Diego Padre, reached on an error his first time by the right fielder Canario. Who's a tweener, could have gone as a single, but was ruled an error. 1-1. Leba takes a called strike. Slider at 85. Leba's thought about challenging, but he won't do it. Oh, Kanan's got his lead. And with 2 away, the 1-2 from Green. This is up and out. Two. This is outside. Counts full again. Wasn't the case in the first inning or the top of the second, but both these pitchers getting deep into a lot of counts recently. 3-2. Both runners get a head start, and Leba rolls one foul right side. Ryan Valet, the man waiting on deck. Leba is hoping to put the Indians up by more than 2. They got 2 on an RB or on a 2-run single from Grant Cook. But now Green's payoff pitch on the way again. And Leba takes. That's a called third strike. Leba doesn't challenge. Instead, he just spikes the helmet in frustration. Took 91 on the inner edge, and the Indians strand 2. We're through 3. It's the Indians 2, Iowa nothing. Hey, Indians fans, gear up with new and exclusive Indians apparel at IndyIndians.com/shop. Shop for the whole family and use the promo code RADIO to receive 20% off your entire order. All orders over $100 will also receive free shipping, so shop 24/7 at IndyIndians.com/shop. Jared Jones starts his 4th inning, and the first pitch to Alexander Canario misses low for ball 1. We'll see 4, 5, and 6. Canario, Young, and Slaughter, all 3 punched out against the 22-year-old from Whittier, California. 1-0 pitch. Tapper foul left side. Canario was on an excellent stretch. Homered on Tuesday, homered on Wednesday, had a multi-homer night on Thursday. 1-1 from Jones. This is up and out. Canario held in check this weekend so far. Must be the Nickelodeon jerseys. 2-1. It's fouled back. That ricocheted off Grant Cook, so the home plate umpire, Kelvis Vela, is going to give Cook a moment. Jones hoping to put away Canario. 2-2. 3 innings, 1 hit, is walked 2, but punched 7. And the 2-2 misses up and in. Counts full. 2 free passes came to back-to-back hitters, and they were the 8 and 9 hitters in the Iowa order. But Jones kicks and deals the payoff. And misses inside, leadoff walk. Again, the 3rd free pass of the night for Jared Jones, and now he sees Jared Young. Struck out swinging his first time. And playing his 73rd game, hitting 2 ticks under 300. First pitch, he was out in front. Got a piece. Count 0-1. Canario is a threat to run. It's 2 for 2 in the stolen base department in 33 games with Iowa. 0-1. That's popped up left side and foul out of play. So Jones worked around the back-to-back walks to open the third with a sack bunt. As the 0-2, it's popped back and foul. But then back-to-back strikeouts. And Howard mentioned it early. This has been a different Jared Jones today than who we saw on Tuesday. 0-2. It's fouled back again. He's peppering the strike zone. He's challenging Young, but Young is hanging around. Jared Young granted time. Pitch count is getting up. He's about to throw number 59. 0-2 again. That's rolled right side. First baseman Nunez goes to the bag for one. Throws to second. They apply the tag, and they get him. 3-6 on the reverse force double play. Nunez's weight took him to the first base bag. Throw a little bit high, but in plenty of time. And Gonzalez dropped the leather on the right cleat of Alexander Canario. Nice play, and there are two away, and Jones can go back to the wind. Now first pitch to Jake Slaughter. Runs inside, that hit him. So immediately Jones back to the stretch. Slaughter aboard, and now we'll see Darius Hill, who popped out on the pitcher's mound his first time. Jones did a good job getting off the mound, but Domingo Leyba had to ascend the hill to finish the inning in the second. Slaughter thinks about going, but Hill slaps one out to right field on the line. Hanging up for Kanan, who makes the catch on his left shoulder, and that retires the side. Double play ball, a big one for Jared Jones, and we're through 3.5. It's the Indians 2, Iowa nothing. Ryan Valade set to lead off the home half of the fourth inning on Sunday and on Paw Patrol Day at the ballpark. Still plenty of activity around the center field plaza, trying to meet the characters of Paw Patrol. Shane Green opens the fourth, and it misses inside to Valade, ball one. It was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out in the center field plaza on Friday. Then it was SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward yesterday. That's Paw Patrol. 1-0. Valade out in front, swing and a miss. It was a cutter from Shane Green at 87. Ryan struck out swinging his first time. The righty bat playing in his 102nd game this year. Leads the Indians. Ready for the 1-1. It's out in front again, swing and a miss. It's a little difference, but Green throwing a cutter in the mid to high 80s and a slider right around 90. Or a sinker, pardon, right around 90. 1-2, swing and a miss again. That was at 90, might have been the sinker, and Valade swung over the top of it. One away. So now Chris Owings, who walked his first time. Green mixing up those two iterations of fastball. First pitch now to Chris. He shows bunt. He pulls it back and takes up and in, ball one. And he did get the bunt attempt back in time. Owings came on last night as a pinch hitter late in game. No plate appearances for him last night. 1-0. Misses inside. Pirates and Cubs wrapping up a 4-game weekend set. Bottom of the fourth inning, Cubs in front 3-1, thanks in large part to a 2-run home run from Jamer Candelario. Great deadline acquisition for the Cubs. 2-0, lined right side. That's right at the second baseman Vasquez. It knuckled to about ankle high, but he made the catch, and there are two away. Now Grant Cook, who's supplied the offense so far with the bases loaded. Cook looped A little single out to right center to plate 2. Got the RBI total up to 19. And the first pitch from Shane Green. It's a called strike at the knees. Field playing Grant pretty much straight up. 0-1. Swinging a roller left side and foul. Ruben Gotay not going to make a play on that one. I asked Ruben pregame, because they head to Buffalo next week. I said, what are you doing, wings? And he said, no, Italian. He's got a couple of Italian spots he loves in Buffalo, New York, which is a choice.
I used to love going to Gabriel's Gate over there. The Anchor Bar is someplace that is really well known for the wings.
Yeah, Anchor Bar and Duff's, I know, are the big two. 0-2 pitch. Line shot foul left side. But I was like, Italian in Buffalo, New York. Okay, but then I remembered I had a lot of great Italian in Syracuse, New York, so I guess it had some westward expansion. Time. No, pitch clock violation. Pitch clock ran down to 0, and that's an automatic ball call on Shane Green. By the way, saw a tweet from Jeff Passan at ESPN, I think last night, as the catcher P.J. Higgins out to make sure he's on the same page with Green. It came yesterday. It came yesterday evening. Passan said on Friday night there were 4,319 pitches thrown across the major leagues, and for the first time on a day with 15 games, so a full slate, there were 0 pitch clock violations. So not only were there 0 pitch clock violations, attendance up 9.2% in Major League Baseball, game time down 25 minutes from a year ago. So this is I think a better game. Pitch misses inside, nearly clipped Cook, but the count 2-2.
And that was the extreme example of no pitch clock violations, but there have been very few. Guys have adjusted, which we knew they would, because they did it in the minor leagues.
And I think the most important thing there is time of game. 2-2, that's lifted foul and out of play. You know, when the average time of game crept over 3 hours, you know, with how much cat and mouse goes on now and how many pitching changes, and really how much time pitchers were taking in between pitches to kind of gear up for maximum intent throws. 2-2. Cook lifts that far, but foul left side and out of play.
It's been a really good thing.
I mean, 25 minutes in a year is, that's insane. And I really haven't heard anything negative regarding the pitch clock from any player since, I guess, the beginning of last year. 2-2. Swinging a fly ball out to right field, right at Canario. Broke a couple steps back, but now he makes the catch. 2 hands for security, and that ends a 1-2-3 inning for Shane Green. We're through 4. It's the Indians 2, Iowa nothing. Top of the 5th inning, Indians have a 2-0 lead. Jared Jones racking up the strikeouts early. He starts the 5th inning, and back to call the action. Here's Howard.
Jack, thank you so much. And Luis Vasquez, who walked, will lead off. Jones has allowed only 1 hit, a first inning single by Matt Mervis. However, he's walked 3 and hit a batter. And the bottom line is very good, obviously, 4 scoreless innings. But you do want to cut down on the bases on balls. Vasquez stands in. And a breaking ball fouled back out of play. Good slider. Strike 1. 0-1.
Our top 5 means we'll do this date in baseball history and this date in Indians history.
Yes, sir.
Start this date in Indians history. Falls on August 27th, 1998.
The 0-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. Fastball high and tight. That brings back memories of that pennant race. The Indians had a 10-game lead over Louisville, and Louisville won the IL West by a half game over the Indians. 0-2 pitch. Did he swing? It was high and tight. No, he checked it.
Well, we'll jump this date in '98 in a 7-0 win in Richmond. Third baseman Paul Konerko was a triple shy of the cycle. He went 4 for 5 with 2 driven in and 2 runs scored.
And a breaking ball, swing and a miss. He struck him out. The curveball, and there's one away. And Jared Jones has his 8th strikeout. Now David Bodie, who walked his first time up. Well, the Indians righted themselves, but they just couldn't catch up to Louisville. They went from 10 games in front to 7 games behind, and they got right back in it, but lost by a half game. The pitch low and away, ball 1. We lost a game to rain that season at Victory Field. So we played 1 less game than the Louisville Bats did. The 1-0 pitch. High. Paul Konerko was traded by the Reds. They acquired him, but they felt Aaron Boone is our third baseman of the future, so the Reds traded Paul Konerko.
Yeah, it looks like Jared Jones, did he trip when he was delivering that pitch? Because instead of falling forward, he fell backwards behind the mound.
The count is 2-0. Fastball hit in the air, foul, right side, out of play. He has overpowering stuff.
Yeah.
2-1.
We'll jump to this date in baseball history, brought to you by UA Local 440. With 120 years under its belt, UA Local 440 knows its history.
The 2-1 pitch, fastball hit in the air, right field. Smith and Jigba hustling back, turns completely around, and that ball has cleared the wall for an opposite field home run. Wow, I didn't think that was going out. It was hit on the line, and it's a home run for David Bodie to right field. And the Indians now lead 2-1.
That thing was drilled the other way, but I was thinking double off the wall. I didn't think that had the height to get out, to be honest. But that liner, it got out in a hurry.
Yeah, I thought the same. Bodie's 12th homer of the year. The batter, Pete Crow Armstrong. He's fanned and sacrificed. And he swings and grounds it foul to the right side.
Start this date in baseball history. Got 2 in 1961. Our first, Detroit's Rocky Colavito ties an American League record by hitting 4 homers in a doubleheader sweep against the Washington Senators, 3 of which in Game 2.
The pitch is outside. He also, 3 years before that, hit 4 homers in a game.
Wow.
Don't knock the Rock. He had a great year with Detroit that year. I think he hit 46 home runs. They had a great season. There's a pitch high and away. That's a Tiger Ball Club that won 101 games, but nobody remembers that because the Yankees won 109. And Roger Maris broke Babe Ruth's home run record. And this pitch a little bit outside. That was a changeup. 3-1.
Jump to the next one on this date in 61. The Orioles' Milt Pappas throws a 2-hit shutout in a 3-0 win over the Twins. He also belted 2 homers.
And a fastball low inside. The Orioles came into their own. That is ball 4. A walk to Pete Crow Armstrong. The batter, P.J. Higgins, who has struck out swinging twice. The Orioles came into their own the year before when they were in the pennant race with the Yankees until mid-September. And Milt Pappas was one of those baby birds. Paul Richards' baby birds, the 5 young pitchers. Milt Pappas, Steve Walker, Chuck Estrada, Jerry Walker. Wait a minute. Milt Pappas, Steve Barber, Jerry Walker, Chuck Estrada, and Jack Fisher. Runner going. Pitch outside. Throw to second. Not nearly in time. Good jump. Good move by Pete Crow Armstrong, who's 6 out of 6 in the stolen base department. And then Pappas, who's a fine major league pitcher for many years, almost threw a perfect game with the Cubs. But anyway, he was traded during the winter of 1965. He was the principal in the Frank Robinson deal. And here's his swing and a miss. Strike 1, 1-1.
We'll jump to this date in 1973. The first place Baltimore Orioles, staying with Baltimore. They beat the Rangers 6-3 for their 14th consecutive win, marking the longest winning streak in the AL since 1960.
And Jones wheels back, and That was a tough season for me as a Yankee fan. The Yankees were in first place much of the year, but they collapsed. And at the end of the season, Ralph Houck resigned as manager. The Orioles were great then, and they had to adjust a breaking ball over the outside corner because that was an Orioles team without Frank Robinson, but they had the great pitching. Jim Palmer, Dave McNally, Mike Cuellar. Terrific pitching, terrific defense. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. And there are 2 away, and that'll bring up Matt Mervis. And the runner breaks to third, and he's out at third base. So Pete Crow Armstrong tried to catch everybody napping, running to third base, and he makes the third out of the inning at third base, and the side is retired. At the end of 4.5, it is the Indians 2 and Iowa 1.
Bottom of the 5th inning, and we've got an Indiana 8-1-1 call to the bullpen. The rehabbing Brad Boxberger into the ball game. 35-year-old from Fullerton, California, on the rehab assignment. His 4th appearance with Iowa. Previous 3, 2 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned. Struck out 2 and walked 2. At the major league level this year, 17 appearances. He's sporting an ERA in the mid-5s.
Okay, Jack, and Nick Gonzalez takes a breaking ball in for a strike.
Get back to this date in baseball history, brought to you by UA Local 440. Trip back in this date in 1977.
And this pitch is outside.
State in 77, Dan Dreesen and Johnny Bench hit back-to-back homers in the 9th inning to give the Reds a 5-4 win over the Phillies at Riverfront Stadium.
The Reds didn't win it that year, and they were great, but the Dodgers were better. Here's a line drive and a leaping grab by Luis Vasquez, the second baseman. Took a hit away from Gonzalez, who drilled it the other way. And even though he's out, he hit the ball hard, and he hit it the other way.
Well, and a lot of guys with the Iowa Cubs have been raving about Luis Vasquez. This guy, a 23-year-old, his breakout season, really, and it comes in the upper levels. Feels like the game is working slowly for him this week.
Yeah, he looks very good. You're right. Here's Kenan Smith and Jigba. Beaten out of bunt and walked, and he takes outside.
Jump to this date in 82, running on the tandem of Doc Medich and Ted Simmons. The A's Ricky Henderson breaks Lou Brock's single-season record of 118 stolen bases. He stole 4 that day.
There's the pitch over the outside corner for a strike. Well, he was running, stealing third with 2 men out in one-sided games. When Brock stole them, when Maury Wills stole them, they meant something. Joe Morgan was like that too. Here's a ground ball in the hole, base hit right field. They only ran when it meant something. But Henderson was certainly a great base stealer and deserves all the accolades. And I think he's the greatest leadoff hitter of all time. Here's Miguel Andujar. He's hit into a double play and struck out swinging.
Jump to this date in 1988. Tommy Lasorda wins his 1,000th game as a manager as the Dodgers top Philly 4-2.
Tommy managed the Dodgers some 20 years. Hall of Famer. Talked to Tommy John a lot about him, who pitched for him. Fastball is his strike, and Tommy said, look, he's not an X's and O's guys, but he was a great motivator. And Tommy John really enjoyed playing for Tom Lasorda. Lasorda said he learned under Ralph Houck when he played for Houck at the Yankees AAA club in Denver how to treat people. Here's a high pop-up to the right side of the infield. Luis Vasquez on the infield dirt makes the catch, and there are 2 away. And now Malcolm Nunez. Hit with a pitch ball and lined his single to right.
Got 2 more this date in baseball history.
Yes, sir.
Go this date in 1990 when Boston's Ellis Burks homers twice in an 8-run 4th inning. 2 homers in the same inning in a 12-4 win over Cleveland.
And the pitch is low and away ball. He was a very good player for a long time. I got to tell you a quick story about Ellis Burks, though.
Yeah.
As you said, he came up with the Red Sox. He got a big buildup. Big buildup. The 1-0 delivery is a swing and a high pop foul to the right side. Mervis is hoping, but it's out of play. And the Red Sox, of course, didn't run much back in those days. They shot at the Green Monster. They changed years later. But anyway, so Ellis Burks is playing, and he steals a base. And over the Fenway Park press box intercom, they say, attention press, it is Ellis Burks' first career stolen base. Pitch is low. And then one of the writers said, yeah, and that puts him among the all-time club leaders.
I like that. He's not wrong.
They didn't steal bases. And there's a high fly ball foul left side out of play.
And the last one for you, Howard, this date in 2005, Jeff Kent becomes the first player to ever hit 300 career home runs as a second baseman.
Yeah, some people feel he should be in the Hall of Fame. He was not a great fielding second baseman, but a great offensive player who won an MVP too, and was in Barry Bonds' shadow much of the time there. And a changeup is a little bit low, and the count's full, which means an automatic start for Smith and Jigba with 2 men out. Defense straight up. Boxberger stretches and delivers. Swung on and grounded foul left side. Thanks, Jack. Great job this date in baseball history.
You got it.
We'll be on the air at 7 o'clock from Buffalo on Tuesday. And day game Wednesday at 1 o'clock. The right-handers stretch, and again, Smith and Jigba will be going first to throw to first, trying to catch him off guard. Runner going, pitch is low, ball 4. He walked it. MHS walk for health. And runners are at first and second. And the batter, Jared Triolo, who struck out and flied to right. Right-hand batter. Indians 2. Iowa 1, bottom of the 5th. 2 men on, 2 men out. Boxberger pitches. Swing and a foul at the plate. 0-1. And this pitch, did it hit his hand? It did. And he's hit with a pitch ball, and the bases are loaded. Fastball bearing in on him. And they're loaded. And Domingo Leyba, the batter. Marty Peavy heading to the mound, and he may make a pitching change. We'll see. Yes, he will. He's got a left-hander, which means they'll turn Domingo Leyba around and make him bat right-handed. That will do it for Brad Boxberger.
So Boxberger done, and this is an Indiana 8-1-1 call to the bullpen. When the Indians or their opponents turn to their bullpen experts, you can turn to the experts by going to Indiana 811 for your underground utility digging needs. Know what's below by going to 811now.com. Luke Little, who is not little, 6'8", 220 from Charlotte, North Carolina, 4th-round pick of the Cubs in the COVID-shortened 2020 draft at a San Jacinto College, San Jac, in the Houston area. And Luke Little, who topped it 105 miles an hour as a 19-year-old in a bullpen in the offseason. Little will sit mid-90s now, and across 3 levels, Little has a 2.25 ERA in 60 innings. Started the year in South Bend, was awesome there as a starter, was used as a full-time reliever with AA Tennessee, and this is his 6th appearance with the Iowa Cubs. In 8 innings, Little has allowed 5 hits and 2 runs. Again, 8 innings, he struck out 15 and walked 4 so far.
Oh boy, he looks like a big guy out there. And left-handed. All things being equal, lefties don't throw as hard as righties. He's the exception, obviously.
Well, fastest pitch in big league history came from a lefty. Yeah, Chapman, 105.1.
There was a lefty they say even threw harder than him years and years ago named Steve Dalkowski, who never made it successfully in the big leagues. He came up in the Baltimore system, and they say he was the hardest thrower of all time. He got a little bit of time in the big leagues. The name is Steve Dalkowski. Okay, the base is loaded. Domingo Leyva, the batter. There are 2 outs. We're in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Indians leading 2-1. Little, the lefty, delivers. Fastball poured in there for a strike, 96 miles an hour. All 3 men lead away. The Iowa defense straight up. And the set at the belt. And the pitch line to right center field. Crow Armstrong on the move, and he makes the catch, hits the wall very hard, and goes down. He gets up. He made an excellent play. He was nonchalanting it, and then he banged into that wall. And he's up on his feet, trotting in. He hit the wall pretty hard. At the end of 5, Indians 2 and Iowa 1. And we get ready for the top half of the 6th inning. Pete Crow Armstrong came trotting in, so hopefully he is okay. He hit that padded wall hard. We go to the 6th. Here's Jack.
And he doesn't hit for a bit. Thank you very much, Howard. As Matt Mervis, the 3-hitting first baseman, set to lead things off against Jared Jones. First pitch misses low, ball 1. So Jones working a 6th inning. It throws 78 pitches through the front 5. The infield shifting Mervis to pull. Shortstop Gonzalez right near the second base bag. And Jones's 1-0 is popped up on the infield, maybe staying on the dirt, right at Gonzalez, who backpedals into the outfield grass, and he makes the catch over his left shoulder, 1 away. Probably got a slight bump from the breeze that's working left to right, so Gonzalez made a late kind of hesitation move with it. Trying to fake out a defender in basketball, but he put it away. And with 1 away, it's Alexander Canario, who struck out and walked. Canario hoping to join Candelario in Chicago. Cubs have a lead over the Pirates thanks to a 2-run homer from Jeimer Candelario. First pitch, a big hack and a foul ball from Canario. (6-1). The Cubs have the lead over the Buccos in the bottom of the 5th. 0-1 pitch. This is low and outside. Homer from Candelario, doubles from Nico Horner, Cody Bellinger, Seiya Suzuki, and Javier Assad through 5 innings of 1-run ball. 1-1. Big hack and a miss. 96 challenged Canario. Count a ball and 2 strikes. First 28 games of Canario's season in AAA, he had 4 homers. And in 5 games this week, he has 4 homers. 1-2, line foul left side. He's on a power surge, including a multi-homer day on Thursday. Jared Jones, his 1-2 to Canario. Misses just upstairs. 89 on like a cutter. Somewhere between a cutter and a slider. Count 2-2. Right-hander Jones rocks and fires. That's fouled straight down. curveball that Jones didn't get on top of. It was about letter high, and Canario still managed to get the barrel on top of that ball and shoot it straight down. The young outfielder from the Dominican Republic, ready for the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Foul tip. Grant Cook held on to 96. Again challenging Canario. And Jones has strikeout number 10 this afternoon. Double-digit K performance for Jared Jones. And now he'll see Jared Young, who's one of his strikeout victims. First pitch, misses upstairs. Jones, his 1-0 pitch. That's a roller right side, picked up by Nunez. He will toss to the covering Jones, and that ends the inning. Try 6 shutout innings with 10 punch-outs for the 22-year-old right-hander Jared Jones. Through 5.5, it's the Indians 2, Iowa 1. Well, the story of the game so far been 2 swings of the bat. One from Grant Cook, a 2-run single, and an opposite field homer from David Bodie as Luke Little misses low for ball 1 to Ryan Valade. Cook, that single was just off the end of the bat, but it came with the bases loaded. It lofted into shallow right center and plated 2 for the Indians in the bottom of the second. It's a 1-0 pitch, a called strike. And then Bodie, it was an opposite field line drive homer that, Howard didn't think was getting out. I didn't think was getting out. But it brought Iowa within 1. So bottom 6 now, Indians have a 1-run lead. And Little's 1-1 lined foul right side. Ryan Valade 0 for 2 with a couple of swinging strikeouts. And his first time seeing the left-hander Luke Little. Big man throws hard, Luke Little. 6'8", in the mid to high 90s. And the 1-2 misses inside. Fastball at 97. Awesome work all week from the crew in studio with the ISC Sports Network. Spearheaded by Jordan Chu, Vince Morales, as Valade fouls one back, and Alex Laverne along with everybody else. And Austin Cook doing a great job. Two and 2 the count on Valade. 7, 8, 9 due up this inning. And Little deals. Valade rips one foul right side out of play. There's action in the Indians bullpen, and it looks like Kyle Nicholas is going to get the 7th, preserving at least a 1-run lead. And Kyle Nicholas has been awesome. 2-2. Ryan takes. That's a called third strike. Great sweeping slider, and Valade knew it. That clipped the back door, and Little has a punch out. Strikeout numbers gaudy across the minor leagues. Luke Little in 3 seasons in 136 innings has 219 strikeouts. That's 14.5 strikeout per 9. So he is a strikeout expert. The pitch to Chris Owings misses up and out, ball 1. Owings has walked and is lined out to second. The lefty Little from the first base side of the rubber. His 1-0 pitch is lined out to left center field. Crow Armstrong got a good read on it, and he'll make the catch. 2 away. The jump was immediate from Pete Crow Armstrong, and he got to it and caught the ball on his left shoulder. So Owings retired on hard contact. And now Grant Cook, 1 for 2 with that 2-run single. It's the only scoring for the Indians so far. Little's first pitch Takes inside, ball one. Want to know the count? And Cook with a wide open stance on the right side, ready. And he checks his swing. He held it there, pose, and it works. He did not go around on the check swing. 2-0 pitch from Luke Little. That's a line shot through the left side for a base hit. Cook aboard with a 2-out single, and he's got a multi-hit day. That one probably hurt his hands a bit less than the 2-run single that, again, was off the end of the bat, but that one caught the barrel.
Jack, you have heard me mention Brian Giffen, one of my former broadcast partners.
Yeah.
Last year here was 2003.
He's in Atlanta.
Yeah, he's been in Atlanta. He was the Braves' chief engineer. He's got a new job.
But that first pitch to Nick Gonzalez, the Indians' leadoff man, misses upstairs.
He just got a new job a few days ago. He is the Citadel, the radio voice of Citadel football, basketball, and baseball.
How about that? Congratulations to Brian.
Congrats to Brian.
1-0 pitch. Gonzalez lines that the other way. That's in for a base hit. Cook around second. He's going to wheel around and go to third. Canario had trouble with it. For Armstrong's throw to second base. Takes Bodie to the first base side of it. And Gonzalez capitalized. 2 in scoring position. I would think single and air. But again, it's like clockwork. Nick Gonzalez lining a ball the other way. He's seeing the ball so well right now. And Canario, I mean, it kicked off the bottom of his glove, and then he literally kicked it.
Soccer.
They call it football overseas. But Cook at third base, Gonzalez at second base, and the Indians are threatening to add on to this 1-run lead with Kanan Smith and Jigba.
Well, they didn't put an error up there, so I guess they ruled it a double.
It is a double. All right. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch to Kanan. This is outside at 96 for ball one.
So again, congrats to Brian Giffen. Best of luck. His first football game is next weekend.
It's awesome. They're taking on Wake Forest. I think they're at Wake. I think I've got a buddy doing that one. Drew Carter on the ESPN family of networks. 1-0 misses outside. 2-0. So I hope Brian and Drew cross paths.
Well, you're right about Gonzalez. You got to give him credit. His last time up, he lined the ball to the second baseman, so he lined one over the second baseman's head this time up.
Let's adjust the height. Kanan backed off the plate, then misses up and in. And that wasn't a shuffle, Soto-esque. That was like a lunge after he took that pitch. The count 3-0. One of the better run producers in AAA waiting on deck. 3-0 misses up and out, and Luke Little has to deal with Miguel Andujar in a 1-run game, and the base is loaded.
And Ron Vallone, the pitching coach, going out there, the former Indianapolis Indian. Played for the Indians, pitched for them in 1999, pitched for a lot of teams in the big leagues. And he is going out there at absolutely the right moment. 3 consecutive men have reached base safely, but they haven't scored yet, so he's going out there to try to stem this right away.
After a strikeout and a line out to open the inning, got a ground ball single from Grant Cook to the pull side. Then Nick Gonzalez lines a double to right center, and Kanan walks on 4 pitches. Miguel Andujar has driven in 86 runs this year. He's playing in his 100th game with the Indians.
Indians lead the IL in triples with 35.
Little's first pitch. Andujar backed off the plate. Andujar is hitting .342 on the year. That's second in the International League. So with an 0 for 3 days so far today, he's more due than he is cold. 1-0. It's a called strike.
Citadel's first game, Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern. It's Clay Helton, who was previously the head man at USC. Time granted to Andujar, 1-1. Bases loaded, 2 away, bottom 6. Kanan at first, Gonzalez at second, Cook at third. And the 1-1 from Little to Andujar. Misses inside, ball 2. Georgia Southern can sling it. Ball State saw Georgia Southern last year. 2-1. It's fouled back to the screen. Healthy hack from Miguel Andujar. Two. Andujar in front. He just got a piece and he fouled it straight down. So 2-2, the count remains. And John O'Reilly out of the Indians bullpen runs onto the warning track to toss a ball back up to the Toyota lawn. All right, here we go. Bases loaded, 2 away. 2-2 to Andujar. Swing and a miss. 95 elevated, and Andujar cut and missed. So Luke Little strands the bases loaded, and we're through 6. It's the Indians 2, Iowa 1. Well, Jared Jones was dynamite. He did struggle with command at points, but the strikeouts, they ran up. The walks came in bunches, back-to-back walks to open the 3rd. He also walked a man in the 5th and hit a batter. But Jared Jones, 6 innings, a 1-run ball, 2 hits against him, and he struck out 10. So now he makes way for a guy that has been a revelation out of the bullpen, the right-hander Kyle Nicholas. First pitch to Jake Slaughter, misses upstairs, ball 1. Nicholas, hard-throwing right-hander and the former Ball State Cardinal. He's got a revamped fastball. That thing's sitting around 98 miles an hour out of the bullpen. 1-0 pitch is fouled back from Slaughter. Indians ahead 2-1. They were threatening last half inning, but Luke Little struck out Miguel Andujar with the bases loaded. And Nicholas sporting an ERA just under 7.4 in 35 1/3 innings. His 1-1 is fouled back.
Well, as you said, he's been 2 different guys. He really struggled as a starting pitcher, and he's been outstanding out of the bullpen.
Kyle Nicholas has been awesome in the month of August. Really, he's had all of August as a reliever. Is the 1-2 pitch. It's fouled back. Nicholas, 12 1/3 innings in the month of August, sporting an ERA at 2.19 in 12 1/3. He struck out 16, but his last 4 appearances spanned 5 1/3 innings. Struck out 9 and walked just 1, allowed 1 hit. 1-2 is fouled back. So Kyle seeing 6, 7, and 8. Jake Slaughter, Darius Hill, Luis Vasquez. Top 7 in the series finale between the Indians and the I-Cubs, and that's a little looper over to first base. Nunez has it on a hop. He'll take it to the bag himself. 3 unassisted for the first out. So now Darius Hill, who popped out to the pitcher's mound and lined out to right. That pitch ran in on Slaughter's hands, and he fended it off the other way, but just a little dinker over to Malcolm Nunez. So now the infield shading Hill to pull. First pitch. Hill loops it foul, left side, and out of play. 97 on the fastball from Kyle. You throw the way Nicholas has, you're going to get higher leverage opportunities. 0-1, swing and a miss. Nice slider at 90. And this is the highest leverage opportunity that Nicholas has had. 1-run game. The Indians have the lead in the 7th inning. 0-2, swing and a miss. went to the slider again, and he tied up Hill 2 away. Nicholas, an imposing guy, a big guy. It is hard to be imposing when you are wearing a Nickelodeon-themed jersey, but he's doing his best. Now Nicholas seeing Luis Vasquez. First pitch, swing and a miss. 98 on the fastball. Vasquez walked and struck out so far. 0-1 pitch, fouled back. Nicholas ahead 0-2. And not only has the velocity jumped and the sharpness of the slider jumped, but he's confident, and he's confident within the strike zone. I mean, his strike rate is up exponentially. Time was granted to Vasquez, and Nicholas in control of the at-bat. 0-2. Here's the pitch, and that hit him. 98, he let it fly, and did that get him on the forearm? Vasquez on the infield grass. He's taking off the shin guard. He just needs a moment. So Vasquez will stay in the game. No visit from the trainer. One more look on TV. Yeah, that got him right in the forearm. I think this sweatband he's wearing on his left forearm might have eaten some of that, but it's hard to eat a lot of 98. He'll be sore tomorrow, but Vasquez staying in the ball game. There's David Bodie, the hitter now. First pitch misses upstairs. Last time Bodie was up, he supplied the only Iowa run. Solo homer the other way on a line drive. 1-0 from Kyle. That's a line shot right at Triolo at second base. Perfectly positioned, shading the righty bat to pull, and that ends the inning. Kyle Nicholas does hit a batter, but he strikes out one, and it is a scoreless frame. We go to the stretch on Sunday afternoon. It's the Indians 2, Iowa 1. Bottom of the 7th inning at Victory Field, and Luke Little back out for his second full inning of work. He's thrown 26 pitches through an inning and a third. Start with Malcolm Nunez. First pitch to him on the way. And it's a called strike one at 95. Action in both bullpens. Look like Johan Ramirez is readying for the top of the 8th for the Indians. Kyle Nicholas worked a scoreless 7th. 0-1 from Little. It's a slider that just misses outside. Ball 1. Nunez yet to be retired. Hit by a pitch, walked, and he singled. 1-1. This is low. 96 on a fastball. Charlotte native Little seeing the native of the DR. Malcolm Nunez, the 2-1. That's lifted down the right field line, tailing foul and into the second level. Nunez, Triolo, and Leyba go up against Luke Little. And the 2-2 pitch. It's fouled back. Action in the Iowa bullpen as well. You got Tyler Duffy, the right-hander, warming up. Two on the way. It's bounced off Nunez's foot, so he'll hop around for a minute.
He's got a pretty good slow curveball there.
Yes, he does. Separates by about 20 miles an hour.
You know, you're right, you look at his height and his arm, and he's left-handed. And as you mentioned earlier, he was a high draft pick. He's got a chance.
He was a flamethrower, and a lot of these flamethrowers do start as starting pitchers, but made the move to the pen this year. 2-2. This is up and out.
Well, Kyle Nicholas is an example of a guy who, Aroldis Chapman was the same way.
Yep.
You know, they were in the rotation. We saw Chapman in Louisville, and it was too much for them. Moving to the bullpen, they do great.
Next pitch, a swing and a miss. 95 on the outer half, and Nunez strikes out. One away, it's Jared Triolo, who's 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Another guy that jumps to mind is Josh Hader, who came through the Orioles system as a starting pitcher, but Hader now consistently one of, if not the best closers in baseball.
He's been terrific.
Guy that got major league starts was Wade Davis, too. Remember him with Kansas City? First pitch, Triolo takes just outside, ball 1.
Lefty, I believe, correct?
I think righty, Wade Davis.
Oh, okay. I might be thinking of somebody else then.
He was a Cub. He might have been the Cubs setup guy in 2016. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss from Triolo. Wade Davis was... No, he was the setup guy for the Royals from 2014 to 2016. He started his career as a starter. As the pitch misses up and in, then he was a Cub in 2017. He took over that closer role after Chapman re-signed with the Yankees.
Righty?
He is a righty. That trio in that Kansas City bullpen during their World Series in 15. 2-1 pitch. It's a called strike on the inside corner at 96. It was dynamite. I remember that postseason run, Kansas City, like all they needed was for their starter to give them 6 innings and them to be, within a run. If they had a lead, it felt like the game was over. 2-2. Misses outside, counts full on Triolo. They went Kelvin Herrera, who was sitting about 99, then Wade Davis, who was sitting about 99, and then Greg Holland, who was one of the best closers in baseball at the time. 3-2. Jared bounces it foul.
Remember what happened in that final game of the World Series that year with Matt Harvey and the Mets?
Yeah.
Matt Harvey didn't want to go out of the game, talked Terry Collins into letting him start the 9th inning. And then he walked a guy, and then he should have definitely been lifted, but he wasn't lifted then. Another guy got on, and Kansas City rallied and won the game in the World Series.
Yeah. 3-2. Swinging a tapper foul left side.
It was one thing to let him go out for the 9th, but after that first guy got on, then you got to make the pitching change, and Terry didn't.
Yeah. Got a happy birthday going on at the ballpark. Sounds like a birthday in the club. 3-2. That's lined right side. That's in for a base hit, and that may roll for a little bit. Crow Armstrong cuts it off on the backhand. He fires into second base, but it's cut off, and Jared Triolo's got a double. Credit to Crow Armstrong for getting to that ball in right center, but Jared Triolo with a line shot the other way. And he earned that double, and that is likely it for Luke Little. Marty Peavy out of the I-Cubs dugout, and he points his finger towards the Iowa bullpen. So we get an Indiana 8-1-1 call to the bullpen. That brings in Tyler Duffy. Duffy, the 32-year-old from Houston, Texas, went to Rice. Duffy, his 26th appearance with the Iowa Cubs this year. 33 innings, struck out 31, walked 19. He's got an ERA just a couple ticks over 4. So fourth pitcher for the I-Cubs today went Green to Brad Boxberger to Luke Little, and now Duffy. Great to see a lot of youngsters that are members of the Knothole Kids Club out here today. Indians fans, note for next year, you can make your kid feel like a legend. Riley Children's Health and Williams Comfort Air, they proudly present the Indianapolis Indians Not Whole Kids Club. Any child 14 and under can join. Membership includes admission to all home games, an official Not Whole Kids Club t-shirt, chance to run the bases after each Sunday game, and exclusive giveaways on select Sundays. An incredible value for just $20. I think you and I are still eligible for the Not Whole Kids Club if you want.
That's great. They've had that for years. I remember when I first started, we had 68 home games, played 136 games, and we had the exhibition game against the Reds. The Not Whole ticket for $2 got you into every game except the Reds game.
Right.
So, but it's a great, great value. I know a lot of people who have them. And they love coming on Sundays, getting a chance to run the bases.
I know a really valuable member of our baseball communications department, Brody Tisdale, was a Not Whole kid growing up. Full circle for Brody Tisdale. Now Domingo Leyba ready to see Tyler Duffy. And the first pitch spun in for a called strike. Breaking ball at 73. A 1. Leyba chases another breaking ball that was low and in. Count 0-2. So Triolo at second base. Indians leading 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning with 1 away. Leyba has reached on an error, struck out, and flied out to right center. 0-2. Chopper foul right side. Oh, 2. Swing and a miss. The breaking ball did Leyba in. That hits the deck. Catcher Higgins out of the crouch. Throws to Mervis to finish the strikeout. And there are 2 away. Now Ryan Valade had an afternoon to forget. Struck out 3 times so far today.
Tampa Bay just scored 4 in the 6th to go ahead of the Yankees 6-4. It's a Tampa Bay club that is playing great ball without Wander Franco. Cubs 6, Pirates 1, top 8th. Cubs trying to make it 3 of 4.
First pitch to Valade, a breaking ball. He did go around on a check swing.
Speaking of the Cubs and Pirates in the NL Central, the Brewers are red hot. They've won 7 in a row.
Brewers are 4 games clear of the Cubs right now. A 1 that's popped up right side foul, and that gets into the seats. So 0-2.
Look at the Padres, 61 and 69.
I want to revisit. Why'd you laugh when you said Yankees?
Well, it's tough going.
Been one of those years. Tampa's won 7 of 10. Baltimore's won 4 in a row, so they are 3 games clear in the AL East. But Baltimore might be without their closer, and the best closer in baseball this year, Felix Bautista. 0-2 misses outside, 1-2.
I don't know if they've announced or discovered yet the degree of severity of that elbow issue.
But they know it is a UCL injury. So in the last 2 weeks, that's Shane McClanahan, Shohei Ohtani, and Felix Bautista. 1-2 misses low and away.
And the first 2 underwent are undergoing Tommy John surgery.
Is that officially announced with Ohtani?
I think. Well, maybe it hasn't been. I was pretty sure that was going to happen. You could be right. I may have jumped the gun there.
I know he's got a partial tear, but the 2-2 misses low and away, counts full. I know they may look to avoid it. Remember what the Yankees did with Masahiro Tanaka?
He pitched through it.
Yeah.
He wasn't the same pitcher. He was still a good pitcher. But he pitched through it all those years with a partial UCL tear.
So I'm not sure what the plan is there. 3-2, Triolo moving, and that is a called 3rd strike. He got a great jump, but Valade goes down looking, and understandably so, frustrated this afternoon. 3 punch-outs in the home half of the 7th. And as we go to the 8th, the Indians have a lead. It's the Indians 2, Iowa 1. Top of the 8th inning at Victory Field, and the Indians are clinging on to a 2-1 lead over the Iowa Cubs, and we've got an Indiana 8-1-1 call to the bullpen. Johan Ramirez set to make his 17th appearance with the Indians this year. 20 in the 3rd innings. Johan sporting a 4.87 ERA, struck out 30 and walked 12. 26 appearances with the Pirates. He's got a 3.7 ERA. Top 8, here's Howard.
Okay, thanks, Jack. Top of the batting order for Iowa. Pete Crow Armstrong leading off. The pitch to him is a breaking ball in for a strike, 0-1. He is struck out, sacrifice, walked, and he swings and misses, strike 2. 0-2. He stole second, then he tried to catch everybody napping with 2 men out, and he was out at third base. And he swings and misses. He struck him out on 3 pitches. That was a breaking ball down and in. Here's P.J. Higgins, who has struck out 3 times, all of them swinging.
Well, that was a great slider from Johan Ramirez, and it cut just under PCA's barrel.
PCA, Pacific Coast Alliance. Fastball swung on, hit in the air to right field, right at Canaan Smith-Njigba, who makes the catch coming in, and there are 2 quick outs. And the batter, Matt Mervis, who is singled, struck out and popped up, as Jack said. The Indians are clinging to a 2-1 lead. 2 outs, no one on in the top of the 8th.
Spirit of Nickelodeon Weekend, Pacific Coast Academy for the
okay, we'll go with that.
For the Zoe 101 crowd.
You're a Nickelodeon guy.
Oh yeah.
And this pitch is outside. You're a big SpongeBob guy, you were saying last night.
Yes. Far and away favorite show ever. I'll still turn it on when I'm doing work from home.
SpongeBob, that was last night. Paw Patrol today. Fastball up and away.
Too old for Paw Patrol. Tough one.
Well, you're getting old. You can't help it.
I see the gray hairs coming.
I haven't had gray hair. The right-hander sets. Ramirez pitches. Swung on, hit deep, but foul right side. Way out of here, way foul. He was out in front. 2 men out, the bases empty in the top of the 8th. Indians 2, Iowa 1. The starters, Jared Jones and Shane Green, the pitchers of record. And a fastball, ground ball hit slowly to first base. First baseman's got it, and Nunez flips to the pitcher covering. He could have taken it himself. He flipped to Ramirez covering, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down at the end of 7.5. Indians 2, Iowa 1. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Chris Owings will lead off for the Indians. He'll be followed by Grant Cook and Nick Gonzalez. The Indians would love to add to their lead. They're ahead 2-1. Owings has walked, lined out, and flied out. Bottom of the 8th. Tyler Duffy still in there for Iowa, and he misses outside with a slider, ball 1. And the 1-0 delivery. Breaking ball hit high in the air to center field. Right at Pete Crow Armstrong, shading his eyes. He one-hands it. 1 man out. It'll bring up Grant Cook, who has a 2-run single. It came with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 2nd. And it was a 2-run single. And those are the only 2 Indian runs. A soft liner off the end of the bat to right center. Indians lead 2-1. The pitch is way outside and back to the screen, ball 1. Indians have out-hit Iowa 7-2. Indians got 6 innings out of Jared Jones, only 1 run. Fastball is a strike, 1-1. Duffy not overpowering. That fastball 91 miles an hour. And a fastball is in for strike 2, 1-2. Duffy delivers. Breaking ball line softly and a base hit to center field. Grant Cook with his 2nd hit, make it his 3rd hit. And the batter, Nick Gonzalez, who is 1 for 4, a line double to right field, double to right center. The right-hander sets and delivers. And a breaking ball inside, ball 1. And the 1-0 delivery. Breaking ball bounced foul to the left of the plate. Indians 2, I-Cubs 1. 1 man on, 1 man out in the last of the 8th. Tyler Duffy stretches and delivers. Fastball fouled back on the screen, 1-2. Indians now with 8 base hits, and catcher Grant Cook has 3 of them. The 1-2 delivery. Low and away with that slider in the dirt and outside. Higgins blocks it. Two balls, 2 strikes. Duffy, the 4th Iowa pitcher of the game. And his pitch is a slider, low and outside. And again, Higgins, this time he dug it out, ball 3. There is action in the I-Cubs bullpen.
Looks like the left-hander Richard Blyer is up and warming.
With the left hand batting, Cannon, Smith, and Jigba on deck.
Also action in the Indians bullpen, Howard right-hander Hunter Stratton.
Full count, 1 man out. Cook leads. Duffy stretches. Runner not going. Breaking ball line down the left field line. That's a base hit. Cook swings around second. Heads to third. In there to second with a double is Gonzalez as Darius Hill flags it down deep in the left field corner. Nick Gonzalez has his 2nd double of the game, and Marty Peavy's coming out to make a pitching change. And runners are at 2nd and 3rd. That'll do it for Tyler Duffy.
And before Marty Peavy even got to the mound, Richard Blyer was on the infield dirt getting checked. So he did not wait to be summoned. He summoned himself. Lefty Blyer, the 36-year-old from Miami Beach. Big guy, 6'3", 240. Blyer, parts of 8 big league seasons, including 27 appearances with the Boston Red Sox this year. And with Boston, he had an ERA at 5.28. With Iowa, this is his 5th appearance. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned. He struck out 2 and walked 4 as an I-Cub.
Okay. The batter will be Cannon, Smith, and Jigba. The Indians are leading 2-1 in the bottom half of the 8th inning. They have runners at second and third with only one man out. And we're ready to resume. The Cubs are pulling the infield in. Cannon has 2 hits, a bunt hit in the first inning, a single to right, and 2 bases on balls. The lefty sets and delivers. And a fastball in for a strike. This pitch. Ground ball hit very slowly wide of first. Runner holds. The underhand toss to the second baseman covering in time. A good play by Vasquez getting over there. Mervis fielded it. Cook did not break off third. And pitcher was not over at first, but Mervis got there, so it's a 3-4 putout. So they get that big second out. No longer is the infield in. Miguel Andujar, the batter. I'm a little surprised. Well, oh, wait a minute. He's safe at first base.
No, they intentionally walk Andujar.
Okay, Andujar. All right, I had my head down. I was starting to say I'm surprised they're pitching. Andujar draws the intentional walk. Malcolm Nunez takes a strike.
That's respect with two outs.
I was starting to say I'm surprised they haven't walked him. Then I looked up and no, it's a good move for them to make. The 1-1 pitch is taken inside, ball 2. Nunez is 1 for 2, a single. Walked, hit with a pitch ball. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The 2-1 delivery. Swung on, fouled at the plate. That's what happens when you put your head down. Bad things can happen. Indians 2, Iowa 1. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The Iowa defense straight up in the infield, slightly around to the right in the outfield. Jared Triolo on deck. The runners all lead. The left-hander stretches and delivers. Swung on, fouled back on the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count remains. Flyer looks in. All 3 men lead away. The 2-2 delivery. Swung on, line to left center field, but over there is the left fielder Hill to make the catch, and the inning is over. At the end of 8, Indians 2, Iowa 1.
Top of the 9th inning in an Indiana 8-1-1 call to the bullpen, and likely the leading candidate for Indians Player of the Month in August. Hunter Stratton has been awesome. This is his 10th appearance this month, and Stratton in 10 1/3 innings has allowed just 1 hit and struck out 15 with 4 walks. Stratton is 5 for 7 in his save opportunities, and this is opportunity number 8 for save number 6. Howard?
Jack, great point about him being a candidate. and perhaps the leading one for Player of the Month. Alexander Canario leads off. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. The pitch to him. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Strike one. Good slider. The Indians are straight up in the infield and the outfield. And the 0-1 delivery. Fastball over the inside corner above the knees. Strike two. No balls, 2 strikes. Stratton sets and delivers. High fastball, ball one. A high, hard one. Well, the Indians have gotten magnificent pitching today, and the Iowa Cubs as well. Indians leading 2-1. The 1-2 delivery. Swung on a ground ball up the middle, and it's gloved by Gonzalez. The throw, and he got him. What a play. I didn't think he had a chance. Gonzalez far to his left, his glove side, throwing to Nunez, and they got Canario. What a play.
Second baseman by trade, that's not an arm of a second baseman. I mean, for him to make this throw totally off balance with his weight working to center field, incredible throw by Nick Gonzalez.
And he got him easily. It wasn't even close. Jared Young, the batter. And he takes low inside, ball one.
Defensive change to alert you to, Howard. Domingo Leyba moves to second base, Triolo to third.
Okay. And the 1-0 delivery. Fastball, he hits it high in the air. Short right center. Who's calling a call? Here comes Smith and Jigba to make the catch. He got a very late jump, but caught up to it. And they're a 2 away.
Only a late jump. Kana was playing deep, too. Very deep. Close to the warning track, but long run, and it works.
The Indians are now away from the victory and taking 4 out of 6 in this series. Jake Slaughter, the batter, 0 for 2.
So your pinch hitter, Jonathan Perlaza, going to hit.
And he is a switch hitter who will bat left, given the day off today. Slaughter got 0 for 2. Both men have power. Perlaza stands in, 2 outs, no one on, and the pitch to him. Fastball, strike called, knee high outside corner. 97 miles an hour. Perlaza has 19 homers. Slaughter has 21. And there's a bouncing ball foul to the right of the plate. Strike two. The Indians are a strike away from the victory. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no one on in the 9th inning. 2-1 Indians. In comes the pitch. Outside and high, he wastes a fastball, ball one. 10,773 on hand. They've seen quite the ball game. The right-hander stretches. And he pitches. High and outside, another fastball, 2-2. Perlaza batting for Slaughter. There he is, Hill on deck. The right-hander stretches and Stratton delivers. Swung on, ground ball hit to second. Leba's got it. The throw to Nunez in time, and the game's over. The Indianapolis Indians, after losing the opener of the series, win 4 of the next 5, and they win this game today 2-1. Ring that victory bell. Well, we want to thank Jordan Shue on TV for his great work heading up the crew. And thanks for watching the Indianapolis Indians on Bally Live. Indians postgame extra next. The final, the Indians 2, the I-Cubs 1.